Hello and welcome to another episode of the Women Series where we capture developments and stories that impact women. If this is your first time, let me officially welcome you to the Women Series. And if you're a returnee, you already know how we do it. This is the Women Series where we capture developments and stories that impact women. Dating back from my secondary school knowledge, I was taught that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. And that brings me to today's topic. We're still looking at women in STEM, and today we're looking at arts, the engineering aspects of STEM, and we're considering leveraging opportunities for women in the sustainable energy. I'm sure you're very much excited as much as I am. And if you've not watched the previous episodes, you're still up. You can look out for the one in science, look out for the one in technology, but this is the engineering aspect of it, and I'm super excited. I have my guest with me, and I'll be speaking with her very shortly. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back.
The ProShare mobile app, your non-stop access to financial and economic information. With the ProShare app, you can customize your preferred news and videos. You can also get access to latest financial and economic news. Watch videos related to business, economy, financial markets, and lots more. The ProShare app gives you in-depth market stats from the NSE, FMDQ, and NASD. That's not all. You also get real-time alerts. The ProShare mobile app. Information at your pace and in your space.
Hello there. Thank you for joining me once again. If you're just joining us, this is the Women's Series where we capture developments and stories that impact women. I'm so used to saying that line out. Of course, that is because that is what we do here. Just like I said earlier, we're looking at engineering, the aspect of engineering on the women in STEM. And I'm speaking with Omosewa Arowolo, RPE surveillance officer at the Ikeja Electrics. Hello, Shewa. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to have you today.
It's good to be here.
Are you sure it's good to be
Yes,
here?
I am.
How
I feel
excited
honored.
are you?
I'm very excited.
I'm not seeing the excitement. I need to see the excitement.
I'm actually very excited.
No, someone that is excited will be so calm.
I can't be jumping up and down.
I don't expect you to jump up and down, but then I expect you to show some level of excitement. Thank you for coming.
Thank
really
you for having
it.
me.
How does it feel to be an engineer, first of all? I mean, for people, for parents that have doctors as children, there's some pride, sort of pride that they carry around, and they feel like, mommy, doctor, no mommy doctor, daddy doctor. First of all, how do you feel, and how does this make your parents feel?
It's exciting. The very fact that I studied the course and I'm working in the same field is very exciting, and it makes me feel fulfilled. And yes, my parents are very proud to tell anybody that I studied engineering.
And you're working as
I'm working as an engineer.
Now you're a certified engineer.
Not yet, but I'm working towards it. Yes.
That's very interesting. Engineering is one of the career paths that has experienced some level of gender stereotyping in recent times.
Yes.
Not like even in recent times. It has always been like that, right? Because they feel like it's a field meant for just the male. Like it's a male-dominated area.
Yeah.
And of course, we've seen like a very low percentage or very low representation of women across this space. Now, as a woman in this field, could you talk us through your journey, at least your career path? How did you even hear about? Because I, for one, let's even start from that. I hate mathematics. I hate anything related to science, right? So thinking about engineering is one of those things I feel like they are super difficult, very, very difficult. So for a woman to say that she's going into engineering, because when I hear engineering, I'm thinking of you're carrying machines, carrying big things and everything. Do I have the energy to carry all of those things? But for you, how did you land yourself into that space?
Okay, I think I would like to start with my formative years. Okay, growing up, I was always comfortable being friends with guys, and at some point in my secondary school, when you're like transitioning into the SS classes, at some point for a really long time, I was the only girl in science class. So it was like just natural for me. And then as a young girl, my father never like put it into our heads that, oh, it's okay for you to fail or be second place because you're a woman. So my mind was already conditioned like from my younger years. So getting out of secondary school into engineering, like getting into electrical engineering, the case was not all that different because we had like a ratio of 85/90 to, do you understand me? Like to
So
10.
you're saying like when you were in school,
When I was in
yeah,
school, we had way more guys
guys
in class
can imagine
than
like
girls.
80% guys, 15% girls.
Yeah, or maybe 85/90, even,
Thereabouts.
yes, to 10 or 15.
Mm.
Yeah,
And that was how it was
that
for
was
you.
how it was. But then it was very easy to like, and thankfully, I've not been with people. I've not met people that downplay your abilities because you're a girl. You're, as long as you're exposed to the same conditions, exposed to the same level of information, you have equal opportunity of doing well. So it's never like a thing of excuse for you to say, oh, because I'm a girl, that's why the guys are topping the class or something. If you didn't do well, you didn't do well, but not because you're a girl. So getting into Ikeja Electric, I'm grateful to have colleagues that are very helpful, colleagues that are always ready to like put you through. So where you're like, where you need help, they are ready to help you. Yeah.
And that's how it has been.
That's how it has been from
So
scratch
far.
for me.
Now, in
Yeah.
recent times, we witnessed people exploring other fields for their personal benefits and invariably the growth of the economy. And could you share some of the benefits of having a career in energy? I'm sure you've mentioned that you're very much happy about
Yes,
being in
I feel
business.
fulfilled.
Yeah, so what are the benefits of being, I mean, in terms financially, professionally?
Okay.
I mean, let's talk about all of those things. Like, what are the benefits?
Okay, let me start with the fact that for you to even be an engineer, engineers are solution providers generally. So you see a solution, you see a problem, you try to fix it. And you see that in the world today, the biggest companies making waves all around the world. You talk about Amazon, talk about Google, talk about Microsoft. They see problems, they fix it, get themselves on the map, get their money. Of course, money is important. So, and as well, if you think about countries, well-developed countries too, you cannot water down the effects of engineering in economy because what makes them developed? Mostly infrastructure. Who is behind it? Engineers. So imagine working in a field where you provide solutions and you affect the lives of people directly or indirectly in a positive manner. Of course, there will be a sense of fulfillment that comes with it. And the very fact that the job evolves is not stagnant. You use cell phones with, you know, antennas today. You're using flip phones, then you're using...
That's true.
Yeah, so
That's
it
true.
evolves and
That's
it's very
true.
exciting. The fact that you have to discover yourself and you get to learn stuff every, like almost every day. It's very interesting. It's very
So we
fulfilling.
can say engineers are basically developers.
We are developers. We are innovators.
I love the way you say that confidently.
Yes, we are.
That's why I see that like you're really
yes,
excited.
we are. I'm very excited.
We are
yes.
developers. That's very interesting. How about the okay, you've talked about the financial aspect of it.
Yes, it's financially rewarding. Yes, sometimes the very fact that you have to start, you make yourself like climb up the rung of the ladder in stages. So if you are starting at the bottom, you don't look at the income at that point. If not, you may miss opportunity to gain experience. But yes, when you start rising, you start seeing the cash flow.
That's interesting. That's the part where everybody wants to look forward to.
It's important, yes.
Money
is very important, please.
Now, so there are different sides to engineering, but for the purpose of identifying and leveraging opportunities in energy, which of course is the focus for this topic, sustainable energy, what are the opportunities available in energy? And how can women begin to strategically position themselves in these opportunities across the value chain? Because I understand that there are different opportunities across this value chain.
Yes, there are.
In mechanical, in electric, in whatnot, I don't know the names, in chemical,
civil.
So there are lots of opportunities across this value chain. But we want to focus on sustainable energy. So could you just highlight some of these opportunities and how people can start thinking of, I might be thinking of another kind of business idea, but I don't know. I cannot identify some of these business ideas. So could you help us just identify these business ideas?
Okay. First off, I'd like to correct something.
Okay.
You said there are different sides to engineering.
Okay.
We have fields in engineering.
Sorry.
Yes, thank you very much.
Fields in engineering.
Yes.
This is it.
We are very proud. So we have different fields in engineering. And sustainable energy is so important that the United Nations had to like make it one of the SDGs, one of the 17
goals.
SDGs.
Yes.
So they made accessible and clean energy number 7. So you will know how important sustainable energy is. And yes, there are many opportunities in that field.
Right.
If you're not an engineer, you can invest in already established businesses.
Right.
Investment is an opportunity, yes. Then you can also get trainings on how you can maintain, because solar panels, for example, if you're not building it from scratch, you can gain experience, go for trainings on how you can be a maintenance person. Do you understand me? You can invest, you can be a maintenance person, you can go for trainings, basically.
Are there other opportunities? Because I mean, if we're only looking at trainings as the opportunities are available for this set of people, I mean, I don't think that is enough for us to say that that's the only place. If I'm not an engineer,
no, it's not. Okay, so before you even venture into a business, it means that you saw that there is need for something.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that you want to make money, there is need for something. So once you identify that need within your vicinity, for example, imagine someone living in a rural area where people can't really afford expensive lamps.
Yeah, right.
Yes, you can. There are companies now that are into production of solar lamps.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go into that as well. You sell it to them at affordable rates, and they don't even have to plug it to charge it.
Yes.
Just put it out in the sun. The sun will do all the work for you. Yeah.
And it gets charged. But what about the place of waste to wealth? Because I was at a conference recently, and like one of the guest speakers touched on the fact that waste to wealth is one of the areas that people in sustainable energy can focus on. Recycling and upcycling and all of those things. Could you touch on that?
Okay, if you are talking about waste to wealth, it means that you're trying to create, to an extent, or let me say, in another word, you're trying to make money from something that has been written off already. So, from what you said earlier, when you're starting the interview, you said energy can neither be created nor destroyed. But then you can change the forms of energy. Okay. Yeah. And when you're talking about sustainable energy, you're talking about energy that you get from sources that are inexhaustible, like the sun. It will always be there for us. Like water is always in abundance, the wind. So if you marry them together, you find out that you're trying to convert energy from waste to give you, you are trying to convert waste products to give you energy that is clean and very useful to you. So in that way, you're trying to like make energy accessible to everyone. And of course, in making it accessible, it's not going to be free. You make your money too. Yeah.
So eventually, you're making money from little things.
Little things,
and then
easily, readily available resources. Yeah.
And it's just
create wealth for yourself.
That's okay. So what about the possible difficulties that might that are or how do I put it down? The possible difficulties women face in this field. What are the difficulties? What are the challenges?
Okay. There are challenges like access to mentorship. For example, some people just have ideas; they don't have anybody to put them through. Of course, it will be very difficult, like carving a path for yourself from scratch if you don't have any idea. Or you have an idea, but you don't know how to go about it. So access to mentorship can be a challenge. Then you have to be a very logical thinker. You have to be analytic in your thinking to be able to go into, do you understand? Like go into the field. And again, going into the business. Yeah, going into business. I was about to mention that. Going into business in the business of renewable or sustainable energy is capital intensive. Right. Yeah. So it can be a challenge as well. Like, where would you get such huge amount of money to start up a business? But then there are professional bodies for engineers, and there are also, thankfully, for female engineers as well, specifically. Joining those bodies at an early stage, you get to meet people that have already gone through what you are trying to start. They put you through. So instead of sitting down and saying, oh, there are no mentors, you can easily like join professional bodies. You can join NSC. Personally, I'm a graduate member of NSC Ikeja branch.
Okay.
So you can join NSC, you can join Upwin, you can join Upwin is for women engineers.
Okay.
Yeah, professional women engineers.
Okay.
So you can join Upwin as a woman. So you meet other women. Of course, before they get to the top, they would have gone through a lot of stuff. Yeah. So you meet them, network with them, they mentor you, and it will be easier. Yeah.
That's interesting. On a final note, I mean, you've spoken a lot. We've been able to identify the what's it called, the opportunities across the value chain. We've talked about the challenges. We've talked about your own journey. I mean, there might just be a girl watching out there that wants to, or is trying to even get into this space, but still feels like the stereotype is holding her back. What's your advice to her?
I'll say your dreams are valid, and as long as you're determined, you can do it. So don't let anybody tell you that it's male dominated, so don't even bother. Your voice can be heard. I've seen women who have gone ahead. I've seen women who are doing really well. I told you earlier that I'm a member of NSC Ikeja branch. So from there, I've gotten to meet at least 2 women personally. I've met the woman we call Erelu in NSC. She's currently contesting for deputy president at national level. So imagine how, like, so of course, they've gone through all of that and they actually made it. She owns her own business. She's the CEO. Same thing as there's an engineer, Tinuke Owolabi, as well. She's the technical secretary of NSC Ikeja branch. She is a woman doing great things. These are people that when they have events and their portfolio is being read, you'll be in awe. If it's being written, you see pages, you flip pages of padded portfolios, and they are women and they are doing good. So if they can do it, why can't you?
Right. So that should serve as an encouragement.
Yes, it does.
The fact that some other woman is doing it shouldn't hold me back. I should feel encouraged.
Yes.
And go for it. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Speaking with you. And you've heard it from Omosewa Arowolo. She's giving us insight into the engineering space. I don't know what you're doing with this information. As much as I usually say, that information is key, information is power. Get started, browse on this information, look out for opportunities, more and more opportunities. And you never can tell what your career path might be like. Thank you for joining me. If you've got questions or comments, kindly reach out to me at imd.okutoya@appreciate.com, and please follow us on all our social media platforms showing on the screen. And until next week, thank you for watching.